and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approving the minutes. So
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from February 24th.
second.
All ayes? Minutes approved.
I guess we're going right into new business.
Yep. We have 4 area variances and they're all brand new, so.
We'll start with Fisher.
Okay, Mr. Fisher.
Yes.
There we go. There we go. Come up again. Okay, Mr. Fisher lives at 1326 Herkimer Road. And his property would be, let me get off of that. This parcel right here where the cursor is. He wants to put, if you see in the lower part of the back part of the parcel there, there's already a small building there. He wants to put in a 20 by 24 foot garage, and I believe you're gonna go right in front of the existing building.
Well, that building's gonna get moved.
You're
Yes.
gonna move it right out.
Yeah.
So essentially, he wants to replace one building with another. He requires an area variance because medium density residential requires a 10-foot setback. He only has 3 because of the way the property is situated. You know, we've got the criteria to support the area variances with the application. It's consistent in scale and scope with that neighborhood. Many of those houses were built 100+ years ago. It's not out of character with the neighborhood. And there's currently a building in that similar position, just wants to replace one with the other. This would have to go to county and come back for a public hearing. Mr. Fisher's here, anybody got any questions?
I don't have any. We're gonna need a motion to send it to county.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to send a Fisher application to county.
I'll second.
Nelsstein first, Ben
Yes.
O'Hagan second, all ayes?
Yes.
Okay.
So they'll get forwarded to Genesee County Planning for their meeting. We'll get you a date and then it'll come back here for a public hearing next month.
Okay.
Public hearing time, though.
What's that?
Which one make the public hearing?
7:35.
Public hearing will be 7:35 next month.
Okay.
We'll send you the dates on that.
Thank you.
Is that? Yeah.
The August 13th at the county meeting. All right. I guess we will move to the calls.
John Cula,
Cuba.
yeah, Freedom Fellowship. And that application, I'll pull this up on the map. Okay, Freedom Fellowship is located at 282 Broadway. That's this complex here. It was one time it was a hotel complex. And I'll let John explain to you a little bit about what he does there. So Freedom Fellowship owns this parcel here, which is 45 acres. They've also bought the parcel here at 254, which is approximately 7 acres. And they also own the property here at 234, which is 4.9 acres. So this is a residential addiction treatment facility. This is a rooming house for women. They've all gone through the site plan special use permitting. The barn, the old dairy barn here has been converted into an assembly building. There's approximately 100-seat assembly occupancy up there where they do fellowship services and stuff on the weekend. It's primarily for the residents in the program and their families, so it's not really open to the public. They recently put a commercial kitchen on the back of this building here, which they use for cooking. There's also an accessory residential use in the house here. And the old hotel motel has been converted into housing for the clients in the program. What they propose to do on this parcel here is they want to construct a 3-bay service garage because they do like vocational and occupational training of their residents. And I'll let John take it from here. Why don't you give them.
Sure, yep. Hello, everybody. My name is John. I've got a few things. This is all just preliminary. But we did have some engineers do some site plan design, and not that we're getting ahead of anything, but we just wanted to present things to you guys to show you what's going on. Yeah, I've got a site plan engineer, mechanical engineer, and a architectural engineer involved. They're just right now volunteering their services, but this is what the architectural engineer has kind of drawn up on what the building is gonna kind of look like. Well, we have a couple smaller ones here, but basically what it says on there is what we're trying to present to you, what we want to do there. It is a vocational type thing, but it also is a business. Right now, we have a printing business that we occupy in part of the barn. And what it is we train up people that have come through the process, and that's part of the, they earn a living and do those things. Excuse me. And right now, we have two master mechanics that are, well, the wife of the one is the house manager of the women, and he presently works at a pretty big facility in Batavia, but he's willing to give up his services to help us do vocational training for guys as far as brakes and oil and all that kind of stuff. And so we're generating income for the ministry to keep the ministry going as well, as far as the print shop and the vocational repair shop. I don't know if there's any other, if you want to ask a question.
Yeah, I'll pick it up from here. So the reason they're here for variance is this parcel here is going to be maintained as a commercial parcel. It's going to be an operating for-profit business that's going to support their ministry. It's zoned commercial up in the front, but under Section 805 of our zoning law, motor vehicle fueling, repair, and service operations may be permitted in the town upon issuance of a special use permit, provided the following standards are met. And then there's a list of standards. And one of those criteria is that no motor vehicle service station or public garage shall be located within 500 feet of any public entrance to a church, school, library, hospital, charitable institution, or place of public assembly. Such distance shall be measured in a straight line from said public entrance to the lot line nearest to said entrance along the street line. So in the support for the criteria for the area variance, number one is an undesirable change to neighborhood character. The granting of the variance will not produce an undesirable change in the neighborhood. And the answer is no. The applicant controls and owns the adjacent parcels on both sides on the frontage. The applicant runs the residential alternative addiction program. The light repair service offers vocational training and financial support to the program. Alternative cure saw it would be infeasible to acquire property necessary without significant expenditure to create necessary separation under our zoning law. The proposed use is essentially accessory to the primary use mission statement. So what we're saying is that he controls all the parcels there. The proposed use, even though it doesn't quite fit within the confines of our zoning law, is essentially accessory to the primary use and the mission of their training. The vocational, and if an area variance is granted on our zoning law, this then goes to our planning board. It gets vetted through special use permitting and site plan review, and then we would address anything that would be necessary for buffers and that type of thing. But it's going to be operated as a registered motor vehicle repair shop. It's going to meet all the state standards as a motor vehicle repair shop. It's going to be seen after by master mechanics in the trade. It's going to be limited, unless it's changed, it's going to be limited to light service, correct? Oil, tires, brake changes. It's not, they're not going to be rebuilding cars, or there's not going to be a paint shop there. It's going to be all light duty service. So those things would all be taken into account through the planning board process. So 500 feet is required under zoning. The proposed building will be approximately 150 feet from the parcel line, 170 feet from the nearest structure, which is the residential unit here on the west side of the property. And it would be 425 feet from the assembly occupancy, which is located in the converted structure here, which is a barn. So as far as being an adverse effect or impact, it's all zone commercial up there as it is. So the frontage is all commercial all along there. So, but anyway, that's what he's proposing. Again, this has got to get referred to the county and then come back for public hearing.
I'll make a motion to send it to the county.
I'll second.
Council time first. Ben Flanagan second, all ayes.
Yes.
Jerry, I think that maybe we should look at our zoning laws that, you know, a guy owns all that property and is doing something with his property, that he should be subject to determining whether it's a problem for him within his own property. You know, I think that's a valid thing.
Yeah,
Maybe we should look at our zoning laws about it, you know, it says all.
yeah, but that's where the appeals process comes in. He's
I
got,
don't think, I think maybe we should look at our zoning laws.
yeah,
Can I say something?
Yes.
Not that, I think the main part of that had to do with if you were going to put gasoline tanks in the ground. I think that was the main issue, I think, as far as those zoning things had to do with, which probably would present a whole different thing, but we're not doing anything like that.
If the property was ever sold and moved on, let's say, you move on, would, if this is approved and they can do this small engine repair, what would stop someone, the next person, kind of depositing cars, you see how it goes.
and that's where the zoning law isn't so much an issue as the fact that he has a means of appeal, which is why he's here. So we grant the appeal. Now the variance, once the variance is granted, the variance will stand through time and through ownership. The difference is these parcels, this is going to be maintained as a commercial parcel and a for-profit business.
Okay.
So this parcel, they could theoretically sell off with any of their parcels at a later time. Any change in use or occupancy of any parcel has to go through another site plan, special use process review, so the planning board would have oversight over that. Okay, we just did that with Johnny Bears over here. It's being turned into Franny's. Even though the use is almost identical to what the previous use is, it went through a site plan special use permit review process because there was a change in occupancy, and that way the applicant has to justify his business, and we can place parameters on it so that it doesn't just morph into something else. So,
Yeah, because we already have
Yeah.
a few kind of junkyard repair places. Not saying you're going to do that ever, but I don't want to open the door for one of those.
Yeah, so that really falls to the planning board for oversight. So,
I guess that's it for that one.
time for the public hearing.
7:50.
You want to do 10 minutes between them or 15? We can do them in 10-minute increments.
Well, we kind of,
The lawyer said 10 minutes is adequate, yeah.
7:45 is good.
All right, so 7:45 next month here. We'll go to county in the meantime, so I definitely think we should go to the county meeting on your application.
Oh, yeah. I've got in touch with the health department already as far as
Yeah.
stuff taking everything else to do, so. Lindsay is in there.
Okay. Did you want these back?
No, you can keep them if you like, for next month, if you want to. Bring them for remembrance.
All right, we'll move on to Schultz.
Okay, Mr. Schultz isn't here, so I'll explain to you what he's asking. Bring it up. The internet is being slow. Okay, while we're waiting for that to load, Mr. Schultz came in. Got on the diagram here, he's looking to put up approximately 12 by 32 foot canopy. It's gonna start out, I believe, with a canopy, then it's gonna probably turn into a building. Here's his lot here, 2053. You can see where his driveway is. He wants to put a structure here. He's got a camper. So he wants to be able to house his camper. The way his property is situated, the parcel line is off a little bit. It should be a little bit over an approximation. The way his property line is situated, because of his septic and because of all of the large trees in his lot, he would have to clear a substantial portion of land in order to be able to place that building in another location. So he's proposing to put the structure here adjacent to his driveway. As far as encroaching on the neighboring land use, I'll put the overlay on here. It's actually a designated wetland, so nobody would be able to build on there at any point anyway because of the wetland designation. So, go load, show you what that is. So you can see he's surrounded by, it's all kind of lowland in there and swampy. So that area is pretty wet. And this is all farming and you go farther north, residential. So he's asking for an area variance on the side lot setback, which requires 50 feet under zoning, and he's asking for approximately 20 feet. He's not sure exactly how close it'll be, but probably 20 to 25 feet. So again, this has to be forwarded to the county and then come back for public hearing.
Motion for it.
I'll second it.
Okay, I clicked it. All eyes?
You can come sit with us. I'll let you
Okay.
see.
The next one's me. All right, we'll move on to suite.
Okay. One of Lowe's here, I'll show it to you. Bill and Gloria Suite with a 10221 Allegheny Road. They want to put a 12 by 20 shed on skids. Because of the location on their lot, it's less than 50 feet from the property line, and again, it requires an area variance. If the map ever loads here, you got a map on site there. Mr. Sweet can kind of explain to you the way his property sits back. He's got a lot that has a lot of frontage that goes back and then it widens out. And where it widens out, he's actually wants to place the building adjacent to his driveway. And that requires an area variance. And I'll just have to move over here because it's not loading.
What I want to do is put the shed on my turnaround in my driveway. That's where I'm going to keep my four-wheeler, my snowplow, and my zero-turn lawnmower. Because I don't like leaving my stuff out, exposed to the element. And the other shed I have has my tractor and my gardening equipment, so I just wanted, so I could just zip out of the shed right onto the driveway. That's where my turnaround is.
No. Get closer. Here we are.
I want to put it right here. And this is all wetlands over here. I mean, I think it's wetlands, I don't know. There's a creek that runs through here,
Yeah, there's a wetland designation here. I'll move the map over.
so.
There's
This
a
is
ditch.
DOT property from here to here. So I mean, if anybody was ever to use this property over here, they'd have to go to the window where the DOT specs. It has to let with vehicle.
So his lot, I'll zoom out a little bit, you'll see where the lot lines go. He's got a large lot. How many acres?
40 acres.
Oh.
And this is all hillside, this back here, this just drops down to here. So. And this is my septic system's over here. Once I pop in my front lawn, that's really the only spot to put it.
You can see the lot line comes back and then goes across here, comes back. How far do you figure you were off of your property line there?
It'll be 25 in the front corner, and then it kind of angles about 30 by the back of the shed.
So again, this one also has to get referred to the county and come back for public hearing.
I'll make a motion to send it to county.
Ben Coleman? Anthony, all eyes?
Yes.
Okay.
Five? 805.
Okay.
as an FYI to the zoning board, the Mr. Wing project has been withdrawn, so that's no longer an issue. So, other than that, I'm sitting here with NASA.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Mike,
I'll second.
and all eyes? Okay.
Hey, Ben.
How are you?